June 1991, 5:47 a.m. Los Angeles is asleep when the windows start rattling, not shaking but pulsing in rhythmic waves. Car alarms trigger across the city in cascading patterns, while seismographs at Caltech spike, and the U.S. Geological Survey logs it as a magnitude 2.5 seismic event. But there's a problem with the signature earthquake's rumble. While this pulsed like a heartbeat, like an engine, the shockwave was moving fast, traveling northeast at impossible speed towards the Nevada desert, towards a place that officially doesn't exist. A normal sonic boom is a double crack, sharp, clean, over in seconds. This was different, deep, rhythmic, described by witnesses as thunder that wouldn't stop, pulsing at regular intervals like a drumbeat from hell. Aviation acoustics experts analyzed the seismograph data and went silent, because whatever made that sound wasn't just supersonic, it was hypersonic, Mach 5 or higher. And it was using an engine type that officially doesn't exist in any military inventory. Welcome to ShadowWorks. Today, we open the file on Project Aurora, the hypersonic spy plane that the US government says doesn't exist, but the seismographs say otherwise. In 1985, Aviation Week magazine published something explosive when defense budget analyst Ben Rich spotted an accounting anomaly in the U.S. Air Force budget, a line item labeled Aurora worth $455 million. The next year it was gone, scrubbed, denied as a typo, but when analysts dug deeper, they found something worse. Between 1985 and 1995, approximately $9 billion vanished into unspecified black projects with no details, no oversight, just gone. That's enough money to design, build, and operate an entirely new class of aircraft. And it happened to coincide with something else: the retirement of America's fastest plane. In 1990, the Air Force retired the SR-71 Blackbird, the fastest, highest-flying spy plane ever built, capable of Mach 3.2 at 85,000 feet, untouchable for 30 years. The official reason was too expensive to maintain. Satellites are better, but that explanation has a fatal flaw. Satellites are predictable because they orbit on fixed paths. The enemy knows when they overhead and can hide when the eye in the sky passes. But you can't hide from a plane that can be anywhere, anytime, flying faster than the missiles you launch at it. The Pentagon knows this, so why retire your fastest asset unless you have something faster? In 1992, commercial airline pilots over the North Sea started filing bizarre reports about high-altitude contrails that didn't behave normally. They didn't dissipate like jet exhaust or form straight lines. Instead, they pulsed like segments of rope tied with knots like donuts threaded on a string. Air traffic controllers had no radar contact, no flight plans, nothing. By 1995, military spotters photographed the same phenomenon over Groom Lake in Nevada. The pattern was unmistakable, and it pointed to one specific, highly classified propulsion system. The pulse detonation engine works like this. A normal jet engine burns fuel smoothly and continuously like a blowtorch, efficient but limited. A PDE doesn't burn, it detonates, creating controlled explosions thousands of times per second, where each detonation creates a shockwave and the shockwaves combine into thrust. It's violent and incredibly loud, because each pulse creates a mini sonic boom. But it's also devastatingly efficient at hypersonic speeds. And it creates a very specific signature in the sky: discontinuous exhaust plumes. Donuts on a rope. Only one engine does this, and officially no operational aircraft uses one. For 30 years, the official response has been identical. No comment, not denial, not confirmation, just silence. When aviation journalists filed Freedom of Information requests about Aurora, the documents came back redacted with entire pages blacked out. When witnesses reported sightings near classified airspace, they received visits from Air Force Office of Special Investigations. Nothing threatening, just questions about what they saw, who they told, whether they took photos. The message was clear: stop looking. Then in 2013, something strange happened when Lockheed Martin, The same company that built the SR-71 suddenly announced the SR-72, a hypersonic reconnaissance aircraft capable of Mach 6. They released concept art showing the sleek, delta-wing design that was unmanned and claimed it was in development. But here is the problem. The design looks identical to leaked Aurora sketches from 1990, and the engine configuration matches pulse detonation theory. And Lockheed said it would be operational by 2030. A suspiciously fast development timeline for revolutionary technology, unless they're not starting from scratch. In 2022, Top Gun: Maverick hit theaters with an opening sequence featuring a fictional hypersonic plane called Dark Star, capable of Mach 10 with scramjet propulsion. The design was so realistic that aviation experts immediately recognized classified configuration elements. Here's the interesting part. Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works division helped design it for a movie. When asked why the plane looked so convincing, Lockheed's CEO gave a strange answer. "We wanted it to look real because it might be. Not could be, not will be someday, but might be in present tense, as if it already exists, as if they just showed us a secret hiding in plain sight." So does Aurora exist? The government says no, while the seismographs say yes. The budget says yes. The contrails say yes. And Lockheed Martin says no comment, while releasing concept art that looks suspiciously like the plane we've been chasing for 30 years. Maybe Aurora never existed, maybe it's still in development, or maybe right now while you're rewatching this there's a plane flying at Mach 6 over hostile territory, completing a mission and landing before the enemy even knows it was there. The age of hypersonic flight isn't coming, it's already here. We just don't have clearance to know about it. We've investigated planes that fly faster than missiles, but what if you could take an aircraft carrier and make it fly? In the 1970s, the U.S. Air Force tried exactly that. They took a 747 jumbo jet, cut a hole in the belly, and tried to launch fighter jets from it mid-flight. It was insane, and it almost worked. Join us next time as we investigate the Boeing 747. And yeah, see the airborne aircraft carrier, and click here to subscribe so you don't miss it.